Hello everyone, Don with Resolute Outdoors here. Now, in the firearms community, I think there's a type of firearm that online here especially is really underrated, not talked about a lot, and that is the humble Flintlock. Now, there's a lot of cool reasons to own a Flintlock. I think they're a lot of fun to shoot, and today I wanted to touch on some of the reasons why I think you might want to consider owning a Flintlock yourself. First reason I think Flintlocks are a great thing to own is that they really kind of get you in touch with your marksmanship fundamentals. Since you have only a single shot before you have to reload, you really have to kind of hone in all the basics of shooting, the fundamentals. You can't do any quick follow-up shots. Every shot has to count because you really just don't have that many shots. You have one and that's it. And you can't really get that many off very quickly, especially on an actual rifle, not a musket. Rifle is rifled, a musket isn't. After a while, you'll sort of foul up your gun. So you can't just be taking a bunch of shots. You have to actually be intentional about every round that you fire downrange. Second big reason I think Flintlocks are awesome is that they open up new hunting opportunities for you. Now, I think most states have a primitive firearms, primitive or muzzleloading or black powder type season. So these would be qualify for almost any of those. You have to check your own state laws to be certain, but I think this would qualify for any one of those. Now, I know a lot of those seasons you can use inlines and percussion caps and stuff like that. Here in Pennsylvania, we do have a season where you can use percussion caps and inlines, but we also have a separate season that is strictly for Flintlocks only. It's later in the season after Christmas. So it does open up new opportunities to hunt. You could grab a Flintlock and be able to use it for those primitive rifle seasons, but also use them for places that may have a Flintlock only season, like Pennsylvania, for instance. Third big reason I think Flintlocks are awesome is that they are affordable fun. Since you don't shoot a lot of rounds, even though your cost per round may be higher than some other, your 22s and stuff like that, they are very affordable to shoot. I wouldn't say they're as affordable as a rimfire, but for the amount of enjoyment and satisfaction you can get where you take a trip out to the range and maybe you shoot 10 to 15 rounds, it's extremely affordable. True, buying actual black powder, not buying the substitutes, buying round balls and patches and flints just really are not that expensive, and they really open you up to a lot of enjoyment, a lot of time with kids. You're going over kind of the novelty, maybe the history of Flintlocks, just a lot of enjoyment there at a very affordable price. You can buy guns. I think this is a Hawkins, no, Thompson Center. I apologize, Thompson Center. You can buy cheaper ones that you can get really expensive in the Flintlocks. You can buy custom made ones that are thousands of dollars, but just to get an entry level one, they're not that expensive as compared to some of your middle range AR-15s, handguns, things like that. Kind of speaking as well about going over kind of the history and the novelty with your children or family members or friends, is that this really does connect you to the past. Obviously not this type of gun, but or this gun in particular, but types of guns like this is the guns that made this country the country that we are. There's a ton of history in Flintlocks. People have been involved in using those in America ever since the first colonists colonized us, the 13 colonies originally. So there is a historical aspect where you can kind of almost be part of living history if you take a deer with this. I mean, your ancestors that were here in the 1730s could have done the same thing with the same type of action, not much different than you. And you can kind of be in touch with them with some of the more constraints you have with weather and wind and stuff like that you might not have otherwise when you're hunting or just using these rifles at the range as well. Next big reason I think Flintlocks are awesome is that it's my understanding that at least nationally they're not considered a firearm. You have to, I'm not a lawyer, talk with a lawyer, check your own state laws. But since they aren't a firearm, there might be times where if you're someone who's barred from owning a firearm, you could still own something like this. So it could open new opportunities for you to have some sort of recreational shooting outside of like archery or hunt, where you might not be able to if you're not permitted to have a regular firearm. Also, Flintlocks are awesome because they have a lot of opportunity for DIY. So there's a lot of kits. There's kits that you can make. You can still buy them for, I think, like $500 or $600. I'd have to look to see for sure, but you can buy Thompson Center kits. Traditions brand kits where you can make your own rifles. So they come, you can cold blue them, finish the stock, assemble them, and then you kind of can do that with yourself or with your family, and kind of be able to see the process and kind of see the craftsmanship and really take ownership of that. Now this one I had already bought built. I believe this was a kit gun at the time. My father has the same gun, and he built it as a kit back in the 70s. And so there's an opportunity to do a lot of DIY and customization. You know, he has a Centennial coin in the stock of his. He did some diamond inlays in his handguard here. I've seen a lot of people take guns like this when they're hunting. I've seen some people online where they'll put like upholstery tacks for every deer that they kill, put them on the stock like this. So just kind of historically, Flintlocks are kind of like an expression of you. It's the one gun you had back in the day, and you can kind of make that, you can kind of make your own from the kit upward, you know, and customize it as you go on. So you really have a lot of DIY opportunities there as well. So overall, I think, you know, all firearms enthusiasts should really think about getting a Flintlock. There's a lot of cool opportunities, and something I think that is really not talked about enough in the firearms community. So this is Don with Resolute Outdoors. Let me know down below if you have a Flintlock, or if this video has made you desire to get one, and if you do have one, what you think is so special about it, and what makes you drawn to having a Flintlock in the first place. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, I'll see you.